Greetings, Nick with Sweetwater here, and today we're going to be checking out a trio of Dunlop pedals that celebrate the 20th anniversary of the company's collaboration with the one and only Zakk Wylde. The three signature stomp boxes in question are as follows: the MXR Wylde Audio Overdrive, Chorus and Phase. These three cool-looking, keep-it-simple devices right here in front of me. If you're a rock fan, Zakk Wylde needs no introduction thanks to his fearsome fretboard antics with Ozzy Osbourne, Black Label Society, Zag Sabbath, and of course more recently, the Pantera celebration. In fact, in the 35 years since he first emerged with Ozzy Osbourne way back in 1988, Zakk's been one of the hardest working rock guitarists on this planet, period. He also has an instantly recognizable style and sound, and these three stomp boxes, along with his trusty Dunlop wah and Rotor-Vibe pedals, play a vital role in the creation of said signature tone. As Chef Wylde told me recently, they've been on my pedal board forever. They're definitely all the ingredients I need to make my sonic soup. Oh, and just so you know, my friend, MXR Wylde Audio Crybaby and Rotor-Vibe pedal offerings are being cooked up in the Sonic Kitchen too right now. Nice! Of the three Wylde soup ingredients we're looking at, the overdrive and chorus are the most prevalent. In a nutshell, unless he's playing a clean passage or not playing at all, Zakk's overdrive pedal is always on. And when he's performing live, the chorus is on all the time too, and he uses the unit stereo outputs to drive two 100-watt heads. Here's his why in his own words. I use the chorus pedal to widen and sweeten my sound, just like St. Randy Rhoads did live. I never switch the thing off. Case closed, my friend, case closed. Time for a quick guitar change. A little sloppy, but you get the picture. These pedals rock. Anyway, we'll start off by taking a close look at the overdrive. As you can see, it bears the bullseye finish that Zakk has been synonymous with ever since his dramatic emergence with Ozzy back in 1988. The pedal features the exact same MXR overdrive circuit he's been abusing so well for the last 2 decades, by the way. Hey, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke. Just so you know, Zakk's very first MXR signature pedal was called, wait for it, the Wylde Overdrive. Then, later on, the housing changed and it was renamed the Berserker Overdrive, which is very, very apt indeed. Like I said earlier though, the circuit remained the same. As you can see, the Wylde Overdrive has 3 self-explanatory clear plastic control knobs. Plus it sports a bright red LED that lets you know it's on even the darkest stage. So if you want to get a piece of that instantly recognizable, aggressive Zakk Wylde rhythm and lead tone, you know, the sound of an already crunchy JCM Marshall 800 style amp being pushed over the cliff with aggression and hair, an essential ingredient of said sonic soup lurks with the MXR Wylde Audio Overdrive. Let's check it out, shall we? First though, here's the sound I've dialed into the Marshall Origin 20-watt half stack I'm plugged into. And just so you know, I've got the excellent affordable Keeley Omni reverb pedal in the amp's FX loop to add just a smidgen of plate reverb to my klutzy playing. Here's the amp with all the pedals apart from the reverb off. Not a shabby sound at all, and as you can hear, it's definitely in JCM 800 style crunch territory. Now here's the exact same riff, allegedly with the Wylde Audio OD kicked in, with all 3 of its controls set at 12 o'clock. I like it. As you can hear, the pedal tightens up the low end nicely while adding some highly desirable hair to your sound. And as I'm sure you heard too, it also gives the upper and lower mids a nice mix cutting boost too, without making the whole thing sound too nasal. Here's what the pedal sounds like with the typical Tube Screamer-esque setting of output cranked all the way to max with gain turned all the way down. That's a pretty neat sound in my humble opinion. That said, I personally like the extra teeth the gain control adds to my sound, and my go-to setting for this bad boy is with all the controls at around 1 o'clock. This is what that sounds like. As for Zakk's favorite settings on the pedal, here's what he told me many moons ago. I usually run the thing with all 3 controls on full blast. And to make sure that no one messed with his overdrive pedal settings, guess what Zakk did? Yep, he called up Dunlop and had them make him a pedal that was set up that way with no control knobs on it whatsoever. Classic Zakk. Here's what the pedal sounds like with all 3 knobs set to 11, the Zakk Wylde way. Now, in case you're wondering, the run I stumbled through at the end was an alternate picking exercise Zakk showed me many moons ago when I was fortunate enough to work with him on the Zakk Wylde Boot Camp cover story for Guitar World magazine. And I must admit, I definitely played it at what my pal Benella calls stepdad speed. Zakk's version was way faster and way more precise. I mean, when it comes to incredibly fast, articulate alternate picking, Zakk is in a league all of his own. That's why he's Zakk Wylde, and I'm at very best Nick Wylde, a fictitious cartoon fox. Lame, unfunny fox jokes aside, as you'd expect, the tone control on this overdrive allows you to go from a dark growl like this and then, when I crank it, it becomes a cutting scream, kind of, sort of like this. The MXR Wylde Audio Overdrive pedal also works pretty darn well with the clean amp too. Here's the Marshall Origin head set to clean with the pedal off. And now here's that amp sound with the OD pedal on with the gain set at around 11 o'clock. Sincere apologies to Mr. Frank Marino for that abomination, by the way. Anyway, here's the pedal set to about 1 o'clock. Not shabby at all. Now here it is with the Odie's gain maxed out into a clean amp. Get the picture? This is a great overdrive pedal that offers a lot of tonal versatility. And it's clearly not just a metal pedal either, because it works really well with cleans and also, just so you know, passive pickups too. Next up is the MXR Wylde Audio Chorus pedal. This 5-control knob stomp box with an eye-catching black and blue vertigo finish, which is yet another instantly recognizable paint job Zakk has on some of his signature axes. This stomp box is a 100% analog bucket brigade chorus that works equally well on lead, crunch, and clean tones, adding a warm, thick effect to all without being overly obtrusive. Now, as already mentioned earlier, this sucker is always on when Zakk is playing live, with its stereo outputs feeding 2 thunderous 100-watt heads. For this demo, though, we're just going to be running mono, because I can't afford a stereo rig. Or perhaps I'm just a cheapskate. Whatever, we're running mono. Let's quickly check out the controls on the chorus pedal, shall we? The bottom 3 are the usual chorus pedal suspects, and going from right to left, they're as follows: depth, rate, and level. As for the top 2, they're low and high cut filters, which help you ensure that the pedal complements your core tone, as do the other 3 controls. Yes, sir, thanks to these 5 knobs, you can literally go from subtle to extreme and any point in between. We've already heard it on a clean sound. Here's the chorus on a crunch sound with a fairly subtle setting. And that was with the Wylde Overdrive pedal off. Here's the exact same riff, allegedly, but this time with the Wylde Overdrive on as well. Nice! You can definitely hear why the bearded one leaves this pedal on all the time. Yes, sir, this chorus pedal is clearly a vital thickening ingredient in Zakk's signature sonic soup. And, as you can see, when the pedal is on, the LED glows bright blue. Perfect! Here's some more chorus pedal settings with some more questionable playing. Sorry, that simply had to be done. I mean, how can I not play that riff using these pedals? Sure, I missed the squeal at the end, but like I said before, I'm Nick Wylde the Fox, not Zakk Wylde. And last but certainly not least, my friend, we come to the MXR Wylde Audio Phase pedal. This 1-control knob beauty here with a beguiling orange and black buzzsaw paint job, yet another guitar finish synonymous with Father Zakk. The pedal's solitary control is, of course, a speed control. Duh! And as you're no doubt aware, for many years Zakk had an MXR EVH Phase 90 on his pedal board. And, just like the man he reverently refers to as St. Edward, he uses this pedal on certain solos. He does that because, in his own words, it adds creamy overtones and thickens things up, especially on the bridge pickup stuff. Just like the late great EVH, Zakk tends to set the speed control at around 9 o'clock to do said thickening deed. just like this. Yep, that definitely works, doesn't it? It thickened even my dodgy playing out. And just so you know, this pedal also works really well on clean sounds. And setting it around 2 or 3 o'clock is wonderful for a Robin Trower type vibe. Just so you know, by the way, the order in which Zakk always has this trio of pedals is the same exact one I'm using here, namely guitar to phase to overdrive to chorus to amp, or in his case, 2 100-watt amps in stereo. As for where his wah and road vibe sit in this signal path, it goes like this: guitar to wah to rotor vibe to phase to overdrive to chorus and again to amps. That all said, pedal order is obviously a matter of taste, so please experiment and let your own ears decide. For example, you might well find that you prefer the sound of the phase pedal after the overdrive. And if your amp has an effects loop, you may well prefer the sound of the chorus pedal in there instead of in front of the amp. Like I said, experiment, listen, and let these decide. And there you have it. 3 great sounding, great looking MXR Wylde audio pedals. They're built like tanks, and as mentioned before, they're not just for Zakk Wylde fans either. In fact, to that end, Zakk's signature only appears on the very bottom of each pedal. Very subtle, very nice. I've been using the originals for many years now and really enjoy them. In my humble opinion, these 3 new finishes are far beyond perfect, and I'll definitely be abusing these ones too. A lot, in fact. They're going straight from this demo onto my pedal board. If you have any questions on this trio of pedals or any other MXR offering for that matter, please go to sweetwater.com, or better still, contact your oh-so-friendly sales engineer. And in case you're wondering how well Zakk stomp boxes deal with lower tunings, I'm going to change to a 7-string Matt Heafy tune to drop A and have at it. Change done, I'm going to play out and fade to black. See ya!